Some dolls are meant to be played with, but some are cursed forever. In a quiet rural town in Pennsylvania, where antique fairs were a monthly tradition, a mysterious flyer caught the attention of collectors and thrill seekers alike. One night only, auction of the unclaimed, from the estate of widow Margaret Blackwell. Rare dolls, some say cursed. Curiosity overcame caution for Olivia Jensen, a vintage doll collector and part-time YouTuber known for exploring paranormal antiques. She arrived at the dimly lit barn-turned-auction house just before sundown. The place had a strange stillness, like time was paused inside its wooden walls. There were only 7 people in attendance. Each doll on display was more unsettling than the last. Glassy eyes, cracked porcelain faces, and handmade dresses that smelled faintly of old perfume and something metallic. One in particular stood out, a doll named Honora, with coal-black eyes and a smile that looked too knowing. As the auctioneer began, the wind outside howled despite the summer evening. One by one, the dolls were sold. But when Honora was introduced, the lights flickered. Everyone grew silent. She was never claimed, the auctioneer said, adjusting his tie nervously. Margaret Blackwell said she found the doll buried in her garden, said it cried at night. No one believed her. She died alone. The room tensed. Olivia, half in disbelief, raised her hand. $50. Silence. No one else bid. Sold. That night, she brought Honora home and set her on a shelf beside her other dolls. She recorded a short video documenting the auction and her newest, creepy find. Before bed, she joked to her viewers, "Let's hope Honora doesn't crawl around at night." But that night, Olivia couldn't sleep. She heard soft creaking from the hallway. Assuming it was her cat, she turned over. Then came the whispering, faint, childlike whispers. At 3:08 a.m., her camera, which had been turned off, suddenly powered on by itself. The red recording light blinked silently. The next morning, Olivia watched the footage. It showed her sleeping, but the doll's head slowly turning toward the camera. A shadow passed across the room, though no one else was there. And worse, in the static-filled audio, there was a voice. "I don't like the others. You see me now." Shaken, Olivia contacted a local priest, Father Raymond, who had dealt with energies in the past. He agreed to visit that evening. As he stepped into Olivia's apartment, he immediately felt it, a pressure, heavy and cold. He approached the doll slowly, holding his rosary. "This is not just haunted," he murmured. "This is inhabited." He began to pray. The doll's head turned toward him, on its own. Suddenly all the lights went out. A loud crash came from the kitchen. When the lights flickered back, the doll was no longer on the shelf. It was sitting in Olivia's chair. Father Raymond completed his prayer, placing the doll inside a blessed wooden box. But Olivia's nightmare didn't end. That night, she dreamt of Margaret Blackwell, standing at the foot of her bed, her mouth sewn shut, eyes pleading. She held out a paper that read, "She wants a home. She wants a body." Olivia woke up screaming. She decided to burn the doll, despite the priest's warning that spiritual attachments don't end with fire. For a moment, it looked like it was over. Then came the scream. A shrill, agonizing scream echoed through the neighborhood, waking dogs and neighbors alike. Olivia stared as the doll melted, but for a brief moment, she saw a face in the flames, a real one, of a little girl. And then it was gone. The next day, the auctioneer was found dead, his eyes wide open in horror, hands clutching a photo of Honora. Olivia deleted her YouTube channel and moved out of state. But to this day, every year on the same night of the auction, she finds a small package at her door with no return address. Inside, a porcelain arm, a black button eye, a burnt ribbon. Honora, it seems, isn't done. Subscribe for more horror stories, new stories every week. If you're brave enough.